Hello everyone and welcome back to the Escape to the Valley channel, where it is my goal to showcase the very best that the Annapolis Valley has to offer. And if you're wondering if there's a great activity for you to do here in the valley in the wintertime, then I just have 3 questions for you. Do you enjoy contact sports? Do you enjoy the roar of a crowd and getting to cheer somebody on? Do you enjoy watching people knock around a piece of rubber with one of these? Then I have one suggestion for you. Hockey. Now, going to a hockey game might not be completely unique to the Annapolis Valley, but what is unique to the Annapolis Valley is the picturesque town of Wolfville and Acadia University. Wolfville itself is home to a number of amazing restaurants and breweries, cideries and shops, as well as having one of Canada's oldest university campuses, with Acadia's campus itself covering over 250 acres with amazing heritage buildings and views of the Minas Basin itself. I recently had the pleasure of going to my very first Acadia game, and I had an absolutely amazing time, and I wanted to share that on my channel here. Now, as a fairly new Canadian, I actually don't know a whole lot about hockey, but that doesn't stop me from enjoying it. So even if you're not the world's biggest hockey fan, I would still say it's a great night out. It's a great opportunity to have a few drinks with your friends, cheer along, watch people get smashed up against the edge of the rink, and as we all know, the true stars of any hockey game, the Timbits players who come out at halftime and put on the world's greatest show. Where else in the world can you see 4 versus 5 hockey with 3 pucks and just absolute chaos happening everywhere? It's the Timbits every time. And I always get a kick out of watching the Zamboni clear the ice between the periods, but God forbid that person should ever miss even a small amount of the ice. Now you gotta get the snackies in, and you gotta make sure that you stay adequately hydrated throughout this entire process so you can get back to the action. Now we saw some fantastic plays that night, including this incredible save, which I think the crowd enjoyed. The tension increased massively as the game went into overtime, and unfortunately it didn't end up going Acadia's way this time, but we all ended up having a fantastic night anyway. Now, of course, a visit to the Annapolis Valley for hockey reasons wouldn't be complete without a visit to the town of Windsor. Just a 30-minute drive from Wolfville, the town of Windsor is considered by many to be the birthplace of hockey, which you will definitely see from the highway if you get anywhere near the town itself. And although this title is contested, the Halliburton House Museum in Windsor has many pieces of historical evidence that back up its claim as the birthplace of hockey, and they even mention themselves that hockey wasn't invented on any particular day by any particular person. It was developed over many years and iterated over time. However, the story goes that the game was actually adapted from the game of hurley by a bunch of boys at the King's College School in Windsor. Leave it to children's ingenuity to find a way to adapt a ball game to the ice. And then the other important part of the game, the rules, were also developed by Nova Scotians and exported to other areas as the game caught on and was taken to other parts of the country. For example, the first public performance of the game was in 1875 in Montreal, and the sticks used in that game were hand-carved by the Mi'kmaq and actually taken out to Montreal for that. So whether you believe that Windsor is the true birthplace of hockey or not, what can't be denied is the significant impact that Windsor has had on the development of the game as we know it today. So if you're interested in the history of hockey at all, I would urge you to go to birthplaceofhockey.com. They have a fantastic website that kind of explains the origin of that name and their evidence, as well as helpful links to help you know whether the museum is open or not. For example, the museum itself isn't open in the wintertime, unfortunately, but they do also house a number of displays in the West Hants Sports Complex if you do happen to be visiting in the winter. But the amazing thing for me is that a game that was adapted by children on a pond back in the early 1800s is not only being talked about to this day, but it's become part of the fabric of this country. And also has gone on to spawn multiple leagues that are worth billions of dollars. And if nothing else, a visit to the birthplace of all that should be on your to-do list, and makes up just a small piece of the history of this fascinating area. So whether you're just visiting the valley for some wintertime fun, or you're the world's biggest hockey fanatic, there should be something here for you. Thanks so much for watching, and if you are interested in all things Annapolis Valley, please do consider subscribing to the channel and giving this video a like, as I plan on covering many more good things in this beautiful part of the world that I happen to live in. And until then, see you next time.